In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this adorable heart pom-pom. It's so much fun to make and very easy to do. To get started, all you're going to need is some yarn and a pair of scissors. Now there's tons of different types of yarn. You can really use any kind of yarn you want. I'm using a medium 4 on the yarn weight scale. So if you look at your yarn label, you can see a little number. I'm using a medium 4. This is a really easy weight yarn to use for pom-poms. And this is just a bright red color. If you wanted to get the same yarn, it's called Loops and Threads Impeccable. And it's just in the red hot color. So you could make this in any yarn, but this is, I find, very easy to make with this weight and nice bright red for a heart. So what we're going to do to begin is we're going to take our yarn and we're going to cut one piece of yarn about 12 inches long. Okay, so about the length of a ruler. And we're going to set that aside. Then we're going to take our yarn and we're going to pull a little bit out because we're going to be wrapping this around our hand lots and lots of times. So what you're going to do, now there's lots of fancy pom-pom tools out there. I just use my hand and a pair of scissors. That is the easiest and most comfortable way for me to do it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to let our yarn go down the front of our hand and we're going to start wrapping this around our fingers lots and lots of times. Your fingers almost become like a loom. Every time we go around our index finger, we're going to count it as 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 198, 199, and 200. So as you can see, I have a huge bundle of yarn on my hand. I wrapped it 200 times around. So what you want to do now is, before we go on, I just wanted to say the thicker you make this, it will be more, as you make it thicker and thicker and thicker, it will be more difficult to tie the yarn around your hand, but you'll get a nice full pom-pom. So there's kind of a balance there. I did this 200 times with this medium 4 yarn. For thicker yarns, you might need to wrap it less times for the same effect, okay? So we're going to cut our yarn, leaving a little bit of a tail. And then this part can be a little bit fiddly because we're going to take our yarn that we cut a few minutes ago, that 12-inch piece of yarn. We're going to carefully slip our hand out of this gigantic bundle that we made. And you're going to lay it down, making sure this yarn cuts through the middle here, okay? Leaving these little tails down here so it doesn't come apart, okay? So lay your bundle down nice and careful, and then we're going to take our 2 ends and we're going to tie them together, okay? Now, this part, because our bundle is so big, this part, we want to get it nice and tight, okay? So get it really, really tight. You can use your finger to hold it down. If you're making this and someone's nearby, you might want to ask them to, you know, if you can borrow their finger, they can hold it for you, okay? If not, you can just kind of hold it down while you tie it. All right, so I'm going to take my 2 little handles here, and we're going to, I like to kind of squish it down because that helps get these loops more noticeable. And I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm just going to cut all the loops. The only loop you don't want to cut is the one that goes around the whole thing, okay? You don't want to cut that because it'll come apart, all right? So just be careful as you're cutting not to accidentally cut that part. So I'm just cutting all these loops, and as you can see, it's starting to really kind of spread out and look like a pom-pom, a kind of a wild pom-pom, but still a pom-pom. All right, so just go all the way around, cutting loops, looking for them. See, I'm like kind of fluffing it around with my scissors. There's lots of loops buried in there, especially if you did this as many wraps as me, okay? So I'm just kind of digging around. I found a little pocket of loops here. And as you can see, I'm getting some yarn crumbs. That's totally normal. And you may not get all the loops in the first pass. That's fine. I am keeping these longer ones intact because it gives me something to hold on to, okay? Now, let's check out our pom-pom. Definitely does not look like a heart. So we're going to shape it up. And I find this is kind of one of the most fun things about making a pom-pom is shaping it up. It's like giving it a little bit of a haircut. So what we're going to do is we're going to start shaping this into a 3D heart shape. So we want to come from the bottom and snip up. Bottom and snip up. We're going to start doing that. We're going to make the bottom kind of like a cone shape, and then we'll start cutting the top, okay? So this handle that we're holding, this will be our bottom, okay? So we're just gonna kind of come up from the bottom. Now, if you're home or doing this somewhere in your craft area, this is a good thing to do over a trash can. I'm showing you on a table, so it is kind of messy. But we want to come up from the bottom and working outward and upward like a cone, okay? So just come up from the bottom, work it up like a cone. This is going to take lots of sniffing, okay? So we're going to keep kind of working on this, getting just the right shape in there, okay? So just come up from the bottom. Now at some point you might have to kind of hold it and let go just so you could get up under there a little bit better. But leave those bottoms intact. You can always snip them later, but it does give you something to hold on to while you're making your heart. Okay, so as you can see, I'm working in diagonal lines, cutting it up. So the bottom here is going to be very snug because we're kind of getting, it's not going to be a sharp point like a heart you might draw, but we are going to get that general heart shape by cutting it very close here around the bottom. Okay, so as you can see, it takes many cuts to kind of get just the right shape. Okay, now as I cut too, I like to fluff it to kind of pull, it'll pull out some of those, see how I have like long pieces? It'll pull out some of those long pieces. Okay, now we can clear this out of the way. Now the next thing we're going to do is start shaping it around. Okay, so you can kind of even cut like a rounded shape at the top because we're going to go in and cut later. And as you're cutting, because this is going to be a 3D heart, you want to keep turning your heart all around, okay? If you have kids who are not beginner scissors, but learning how to get more advanced with their scissors, this is a fun little project. It's almost like cutting hair, but not real hair. This is a safe way to cut this. So, all right, I'm still shaping it up, leaving the top a little bit longer because we have, and you may find a loop here and there, because we're going to be cutting it into a heart shape, okay? As you can see, it takes a lot of trimming to make our heart. And I'm getting that bottom nice and tight, okay? Now, with our pom-pom, there might be a side that you like better, and that's totally normal. All right, so we're just trimming all the way around. I'm getting that cone shape at the bottom, and then we're getting our sides, okay? So the next thing we want to do to kind of, now we're not done, we're nowhere near done, but the next thing to kind of establish our shape, we want to start cutting down into our heart, okay? So just kind of cut that middle out. Now you can see we got a little bit of a rough heart shape now, okay? So fluff this out, and we're sort of just holding it still, cutting out our heart, okay? But this top part, it's gonna kind of be like a deep cut, okay? Okay, and you're gonna just kind of turn it all around, Another important thing is that your scissors are nice and sharp. This is a lot of yarn to cut. Okay, just getting that shape, that beautiful heart shape. And as you cut things down more, you might need to cut back down into your heart a little bit more, okay? Just kind of pull that out. There we go. I'm going to saw it down in there and snip it out. And just keep shaping it up, okay? All right, now as your shape is emerging, see we're going to start doing more precise, kind of smaller snips, okay? We're getting it much more refined, okay? And you'll notice that different things are starting to take shape and different things are sort of popping out. Now, to get this, if you're having trouble getting this dip that you need, and you can see I still have a lot of long pieces, open your scissors very narrowly, and you can kind of wiggle them in there like this, and just give it a snip. All right, now it'll look very harsh now, so you'll need to take these little side pieces and just kind of snip them as well, okay? Kind of like a stair step, but like smoother, okay? So that kind of gets that shape in there, okay? Now, as you work too, remember to keep fluffing your heart as you go, and all these kind of long pieces will reveal themselves, okay? So you want to get in there, get all those long pieces, and just keep snipping, 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 establishing that shape. It takes a little bit of time to kind of, it's almost like whittling it down with wood or something. It takes a little bit of time to get it down to its form, okay? And just take it in your both of your hands and just keep fluffing it up as you go. And you can see there's some long pieces I need to take care of. So just keep trimming. So our heart is complete. It looks so cute and it was really fun to do. It's fun to snip it into shape and watch it kind of transform. So that is how you make a heart pom-pom. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and this is perfect for Valentine's Day too. You could tuck it in someone's bag or pocket as a little surprise, or you could tie a little string to the top of it and hang it somewhere as well. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure and click the subscribe button to get all the latest Sparkle and Splatter video updates. Thanks again.